What is going on, guys? Flamm back in another video, and today I want to talk about the new thermal scoped assault rifle. So a couple of days ago, the thermal scoped assault rifle was put into the game in two variants, an epic variant and a legendary variant, and I just wanted to talk about it, talk about is this gun a viable gun, talk about its time to kill, and talk about overall my personal opinion on it. So for this video, it's just kind of a first look type of video for the thermal scoped assault rifle. So to start off here, let's go ahead and talk about the damage numbers for these weapons. Like I said, there are two variants. The epic variant does 36 body shot damage and 72 critical damage, and the legendary variant does 37 body shot damage and 74 critical damage. This weapon is not an exact replica of the other scoped assault rifle. It isn't just a higher rarity of the normal scoped assault rifle with a thermal scope added on. It's actually a completely different weapon. It has a different fire rate. It fires at 1.8 bullets per second, whereas the other scoped assault rifle fires at 3.5 bullets per second. And just in case you were wondering, the normal full auto assault rifles fire at 5.5 bullets per second. So next up here, I want to talk about time to kill. We'll talk about time to kill from 2 health points, one being 100 health and one being 200 health. So body shot time to kill for the thermal scoped rifle is 1.11 seconds at 100 health, compared to the normal scoped assault rifle, which is 1.14 seconds, and compared to the SCAR, which is 0.36 seconds. Then when it comes to somebody who is 200 health, the thermal scoped assault rifle is 2.78 seconds, the normal scoped rifle is 2.29 seconds, and the SCAR is 91 hundredths of a second. Now, why am I showing you guys these numbers? Well, I'm telling you guys all of these numbers so you can better understand the place in which a scoped rifle is supposed to fit into the game. It obviously does not compete whatsoever with the SCAR. The SCAR has a 3 times faster time to kill than the normal scoped rifle and the thermal scoped rifle. So obviously when it comes to time to kill, these weapons just do not compete. So where does the thermal scoped rifle fit into the game? What is its place? Well, first off, we have to look at the benefits. The benefit compared to something like a SCAR is that the thermal scoped rifle and the normal scoped rifle, for that instance, is that they both have 100% accuracy. Most weapons in Fortnite are not 100% accurate. Assault rifles, burst assault rifles, SMGs, all of these weapons have bloom, which means that their bullets are not always going to go exactly where you aim. But with the thermal scoped rifle, the scoped rifle, you know that 100% where you aim your gun is where that bullet is going to go. So this is where the thermal scoped rifle becomes very, very good. If you see someone clear across the map and you want to hit them, but you're not sure that your SCAR is going to actually hit that bullet, you can use something like a thermal scoped rifle or even a normal scoped rifle and 100% guarantee that you're going to do damage to them. And of course, with that 100% accuracy, if you are a very good aim, you can also aim for the head and try and get that massive damage of 74. That is another benefit with scoped assault rifles. At any range, you are doing maximum damage. So whether the person is 1 meter in front of you or 300 meters away, you're still going to be able to do that maximum damage headshot of 74 critical. So this is where the thermal scoped rifle becomes very, very good, especially against very, very good players. Because a very good player is going to react immediately once you shoot them, but if you hit them immediately for 74 damage, you've already done a massive chunk literally before they can react. If you're using something like even the normal scoped assault rifle, you can do like a couple of damage here and there. The base for a blue is 23 damage and 46 to the head, so that's quite a bit different from a 74 to the head and 36 or 37 to the body. Now, one thing I've really yet to mention too much is the thermal aspect of this weapon. Of course, it is called a thermal scoped rifle, so is the thermal scope good? It's okay. The best thing about the thermal scope is having a direct outline of somebody. So if they're right in front of you, you see them running across, you can see every little detail about them, which makes it a little bit easier to hit them in the head in my personal opinion. But what a lot of people expect from a thermal scope is being able to see through walls. People expected that when this weapon came out, you'd grab it, you'd be in tilted towers, and you could see everybody. The most that you'll be able to see through is one piece of your opponent's build, so even if they have a flat piece with a ramp combined and you're facing it front on, you will not be able to see that person with your scoped assault rifle. And you can't even see through one wall in tilted towers, so I assume that it means that you can only see through player built structures, and like I said, you can only see through one of those. But even though you won't be able to see people through buildings, this is a battle royale game. So people are constantly going to be running out in the open. They're going to be trying to get from one zone to the next. So scoping in with your thermal scope rifle can make it a lot easier to find people. So as a first look at this weapon, is this weapon good? Is the thermal scoped assault rifle a weapon you should pick up and use? Well, just like for every single weapon, it depends on your playstyle. If you're super aggressive and that's all you do, this weapon probably isn't for you. If you're someone who likes to play passively, then yeah, this weapon would probably be more beneficial to you. What I would say is don't use this weapon as a replacement for a SCAR. Treat this weapon as something like a sniper rifle. If you aren't currently holding on to a sniper, then maybe pick this up if you have a free slot. Treat it as something that is used very rarely, not as something that is your main go-to weapon. I don't see this weapon as something that a ton of people are going to use. It's going to be one of those rare weapons that not too many people carry around. I think the most common areas you're going to see this weapon is in something like duos or squads, or especially something like 50 versus 50. It's basically the best weapon ever in 50 versus 50. I don't play 50 versus 50. I think it's a horrible playlist. I don't really play squads or duos either. I'm more of a solo person. So when I talk about this weapon, I talk about it from a solo perspective. But if you look at it from something like a duo or a squad perspective, this is probably a weapon a lot of people are going to take advantage of. The ability to have your teammates push forward while you sit back with a thermal scoped rifle and you're able to do 100% damage from anywhere on the map is pretty incredible. But anyways, that is all that I have for this video. I just wanted to come on and talk about my opinions on this weapon, tell you guys about this weapon, whether I personally think it's good. I'd give this like a 5 out of 10 in solos, and I'd give it like a 7 or 8 out of 10 in duos or squads. Like I said, the potential for this weapon is incredible. In 50 versus 50, 10 out of 10. 15 out of 10. This weapon is crazy good in 50 versus 50. But like I said, that is all I have for this one. And thank you guys so very much for watching, and I'll catch you in my next video.